As tonight, the appeal to the government from the head teacher of a primary school. Stop swamping us with paperwork.
Kevin Bullock says he loves his job as head teacher of the village school at Fordham in Cambridgeshire. But in a direct appeal to Schools Secretary Ed Balls, he says too many heads are becoming frustrated and demoralised. He says they feel they're being led by a bunch of faceless bureaucrats.
Just read the first paragraph of there, please, Kyle.
My name is Beowulf, after the be hunting bear because I am brave.
This is how Kevin Bullock would like to spend more of his time.
All day, every day, Duck stood and watched his muttered pigs.
But after 14 years as head of a school judged outstanding by Ofsted, he sees too little of the classroom and much too much of this.
Well, this is my in tray, Kim. Some of it's going to be very important, some of it is a waste of space. I feel that I'm bombarded with just masses of paper and guidance and regulations and stuff that just isn't helping us in the classroom. I have been on to the government, I've been on to Whitehall, I've even met Mr. Blair, and each time I'm reassured that things will get better, but actually things are getting worse.
You're head teacher of a lovely village school. What do you say to people who say that you're simply whinging?
I'm not whinging. I love my job. I wouldn't give it up for the world. What I am saying, though, if you want me to do my job better, can the government just lay off us? It's interesting that I've just completed some research, and do you know what the research said? It highlighted that the more outstanding the school, the less it took note of the government.
At the Bishop's Church of England Primary in Thetford, Norfolk, the reception class is playing the parachute game in PE.
Oranges!
They're all different fruits. Claire Cook, cast as a banana, is an experienced county head.
Bananas!
She's taking the Bishop's through its first year after the amalgamation of a junior and infant school.
There are not so many opportunities to go into the classroom, although I like to teach as often as I possibly can, or be a banana. But the main thing that we want to do is to make sure that every child makes progress in the school and that every child is safe in the school. And if we have to complete forms or do certain sorts of paperwork to make that happen, then I don't see that as bureaucracy, but as a necessity.
Now, could you quietly show that you can walk in quietly?
Despite salaries ranging from £45,000 to around £60,000, filling vacant primary head teacher posts is a growing problem across the region. Kevin Bullock claims it can only get worse unless the tide of unnecessary bump is stemmed. Kim Riley, BBC Look East, Cambridgeshire.
Well, we did ask for an interview with Ed Balls, the school secretary, but were told he wasn't available tonight. His department told us we always welcome constructive input from head teachers, as they are the heart of any school. We've established a panel to advise the department on how to cut bureaucracy.
The latest performance tables have been published for our health trusts, and the Care Quality Commission says too many in this region are only achieving a fair rating for the quality of care they provide. All 45 trusts were assessed. For quality of care, which includes everything from targets for waiting times to cleanliness, 20 were rated fair, 18 good and 7 excellent. Some, like the Luton and Dunstable Hospital, were also rated excellent for how they'd managed their finances.
The staff and the management of the Luton and Dunstable Hospital are thrilled that the hard work that we've put in over the last year has been rewarded in gaining a place in the top 10% in this country for achieving all of the national standards that we are expected to comply with. It's great news for the L&D.
Many trusts have improved, but not all, and the Care Quality Commission says that isn't good enough.
Some of those trusts have been fair for more than 2 years, and really and truly they should be raising their game to improve the overall quality of the services that they provide.
The lowest possible score is weak. 2 years ago, that's how the East of England Ambulance Service was rated. It's now being classed as fair. Kevin Birch has been looking at the challenges it's facing.
Yeah, I don't know if that's 3 days, so...
We're on the outskirts of Bedford. Paramedics are responding to an emergency call. A man is suffering chest pains.
Just going to shine nice in the eyes. What do we call you?
Jim.
What's your name? Jim, OK, Jim.
Jim's had a heart attack before. This time it appears the pain's eased off. He's given oxygen and the crew carry out checks just to make sure he's OK.
Are you with her now? OK, is she awake? And is she breathing? OK, when did this happen? And how far did she fall?
The Ambulance Trust gets more than 600,000 999 and urgent GP calls a year. They're handled by 3 emergency operations centres across the region, Chelmsford, Norwich and this brand new one in Bedford. This is the first time it's been filmed.
What part of the body is he bleeding from?
It's highly efficient, but last time around in this annual health check, the service got the lowest rating of weak for both the quality of service and its financial management. This time, it's moved up a notch with a performance which inspectors say is fair.
This report merely gives us the assurance that we're on the right track. There's still much to do, and we will not stop there, but it does give us that assurance.
Each vehicle you go out, you are going to do your checks in the morning.
Fred Revel has worked on ambulances for the best part of 40 years. He says the improvement's down to teamwork and admits that falling short last time was difficult to take.
I mean, you can shrug it off and think to yourself, well, that wasn't my fault, or it's the ambulance service overall, but it attacks you personally, doesn't it? Because we're all proud of what we do, and we do what we do because we want to do it, and we're proud to be in the ambulance service, and we want to see the ambulance service do well.
Inspectors admit that for all the trusts, this latest health check was a rigorous test, but with budgets under ever-increasing pressure, upping the performance in the future is bound to get a whole lot tougher. Kevin Birch, BBC Look East.
And you can see how your trust fared by going to the Care Quality Commission website at www.cqc.org.uk, and we'll have more in the Politics Show on BBC One at midday on Sunday.
The people of Bedford have been voting today for a new mayor. The polling stations opened at 7 o'clock this morning and will close at 10 o'clock tonight. The election was called after the death of their first directly elected mayor, Frank Branston, in August. The result will be announced tomorrow, and we'll have the result in Look East tomorrow night. Still to come, how they're trying to break down boundaries. People who live on a housing estate in Harlow are worried their homes aren't safe after a report into a fire on the estate. The report obtained by BBC Essex suggests the alterations to the houses may make fires harder to put out.
This fire was one of the biggest in Harlow for years. Those who witnessed it say they'll never forget it.
The flames were huge, absolutely huge, but very much relief come daylight that everybody was safe, and the community spirit again by people taking the people that was evacuated into their homes and making them feel comfortable, which I took away from that as a positive.
But locals' fears the estate itself is unsafe have been heightened by a confidential fire service report obtained by BBC Essex. The report says the fire was harder to tackle because when a pitched roof was built, the original flat roof was left in place, along with its layer of highly flammable bitumen.
Everyone's saying now we're living on a time bomb because we're all worried because what happened down there, it could happen anywhere now.
Tracy and Graham Worsley say, like the house in the report, their property has bitumen in the attic too.
Because if one house goes, the rest of them are going to go. And most of the houses around here are big families. I've got 5 children.
The property destroyed by the fire was managed by the South Anglia Housing Association. It issued a statement which said the fire services report does not in any place identify any defects in the property. We can confirm that the original roof work was checked and approved by Harlow Council. Residents are meeting with their MP to discuss the report tomorrow evening. Gareth George, BBC Look East.